Hello and welcome to our online class this week. So we're starting our proposal project. And for our proposal, I want you to look at the business proposals that are both in your technical writing ebook and are described here in this video, because sometimes it's easier hearing someone talk about it. This is the sort of thing that you will be doing in the professional world. And it's a little bit different from what we're going to be doing because unlike then, right now we don't quite have that same level of expertise. And so our structure is just a little bit different, but it does meet the 3 persuasive points that your book identifies as necessary for a proposal, which is you need to persuade your audience that you know what they need, that you have a plan to meet that, and it's a good plan, and that you have the expertise to get it done. So, and this expertise for this paper, for this class, is based on the expertise you have now. That means the expertise of a student, of a user, of someone who is familiar with the product and can give them, as well as someone who has now some technical writing background and can give the customer support that they need. So, you're going to start with an introduction. It's going to be about 2 to 3 paragraphs in length. It's going to summarize the project, introduce the problem or the motivation for that. So for example, does BC want to increase its presence on Facebook? You would talk about that in the introduction, and then you would say, and so that's why we are analyzing Facebook posts of Bluefield College. And it should be about 1 to 2 paragraphs. It should also include a thesis that addresses all 3 of these points. Your materials could just be a list. The websites you're looking at, any other resources you need. So for example, if you're using an outside website or online source to help you evaluate something, somewhere that you're getting a rubric from, which is totally acceptable to borrow someone else's rubric, you would just list it here and give credit where credit's due. And then here's your rubric or methods. So how is this research being conducted? How are you evaluating the online site, website, whatever, that you are looking at here? And that's something that you're going to address in your group Zoom conference, and I've got some suggestions for coming up with a rubric. You can also look at your book. Your book gives some great suggestions for what counts as good or bad technical writing. And you can just pop that into a spreadsheet and use it for your evaluation. And it should also briefly justify why you're using this rubric or this source. So for example, are you trying to get a site to be more user-friendly and you're comparing it to a site that gets a lot of users? Or are you trying to bring a website up to a national standard? And so you're using a standard that has some sort of national qualifications. This section, the analysis, is where you're getting to that context. That is that you understand what your audience needs. Because here is where you are looking at their product, you are testing how it measures up, and you're discussing the meaning of that. So that is, I looked at your website, I saw A, B, and C, here's the problems with that, and here's why. And that will lead into your proposal, which is your project description that you see in your technical launchpad, which we're going to be looking at, and an explanation for why the actions need to be taken. And then the conclusion is going to address that why us. Why should your group be the group that is supporting this project? And this doesn't need to be lengthy because you don't have lengthy experience here yet, and you don't have companies that are set up. So this is just based on what's true right now. All right. So that's what this project looks like.